Hi friends, so I welcome you all to today's session on 5 important MCQs on securities market. So this is part of our lecture series in which we are discussing 5 MCQs on the securities market from time to time, and this one is going to be based on the topic debt instruments. So this is going to be the topic, and this is a very important topic for the upcoming SEBI Grade A 2018 examination. So friends, we have been working in this direction of guiding students for competitive examinations for the past few years, and we have been blessed with some of the very amazing results. In RBI Grade B 2017, 27 of our students, they made it to the final list. And in NABARD Grade A 2018, 20 of our students, they were selected in the final list. And RBI Grade AB 2018, the final result is still awaited, but again we are positive on this front also. Now before directly jumping onto the questions, let me quickly tell you about the courses which we are presently running for SEBI Grade A 2018. So we are offering these courses. You can avail the course for Security Market Phase 1 and Phase 2, or you can also choose the Phase 1 mock test along with this Securities Market course. And there is this full course for Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the SEBI Grade A. So you can choose as per your requirement, and also you can avail attractive discounts by using the codes given below. Now, in order to channelize your preparation in a better way, and in order to prepare you for all the related competitive examinations in one go, we are also providing some combo courses for SEBI, RBI and NABARD. So you can choose the combo courses also if you are preparing for all these examinations. Again, you can avail discounts by using the discount codes mentioned here. So let's start with the first question. Which of the following is correct with regard to coupon payment on bond? So this question is asking about the correct statements with regard to coupon payment. So this is a very important term associated with the concept of bond. So this is about coupon payment on bond. The statements are: coupon is the rate of interest paid by the borrower. It is usually specified as a percentage of market price of the bond. It depends on factors such as risk of default of the issuer, credit policy, debt maturity and the market conditions. The options which are given, they are 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3, 1 only, or all of the above are correct. So we have to identify the correct statements. So when we talk about the coupon payment or the coupon rate with regard to the bond, then the coupon rate, this denotes the interest rate which is to be paid by the borrower or the issuing company. Now why this is called coupon? Now this is called coupon because earlier what happened, there were coupons attached with the bond. So like here you can see these were the coupons which were attached with the bond, and you had to encash these coupons for interest rate at specified dates. So this is why this is termed as coupon, and the rate at which interest was paid was termed as coupon rate. Now there are other terms also, important features which are associated with the debt security. They include principal and the maturity of the security, but the most important one is the coupon rate. Now this coupon rate is usually specified as a percentage of face value. So this is very important, that the coupon rate is specified as a percentage of face value and not the market price. So this is very important. Further, this coupon rate or the interest rate, now this is very simple and very logical. The interest rate on any particular loan would depend on risk of default. So if there is a risk of default, then the interest rate would be higher. The credit policy of the lender, so the person who is lending the money, it would depend whether he is willing to give the money for a shorter or a longer time, or what interest he is going to charge. So this would depend on his credit policy also, and the debt maturity as well as the market conditions. So it would depend the tenure for which the money is being raised, and also the conditions which are there in the market. So if there are good market conditions, the share prices are already up, so it would mean that the company which is issuing the bond may have to pay higher prices for their bonds in order to make them more attractive as compared to the equities, or it can be the other case also. So it would depend on the market conditions also. Now the periodicity of interest payment, it is also agreed upon in the debt contract. So when the interest is to be paid, whether it is to be paid on a quarterly basis or on a half yearly basis or on an annual basis, this is also specified in this debt contract. So this was all about the coupon rate on the bonds. So I believe now this concept of coupon rate on bonds must be absolutely clear to you guys, and the most important thing that is to be remembered is that it is calculated as a percentage of face value. So now we can easily answer this question, that the second statement which says that it is specified as a percentage of market price of the bond is incorrect. So the correct statements are going to be 1 and 3, and the option is going to be option number C as the answer. Next question. The simplest form of debt instrument which requires to be paid at a fixed rate periodically and principal to be returned when the bond matures is in market parlance referred to as. So here we are being asked that the simplest form of debt instrument, what it is known as in the market parlance. Options are strawberry bond, plain vanilla bond, chocolate bond, white bond, or none of the above is correct. So the most simplest form of bond or a most simplest form of debt instrument is the plain vanilla bond. So this plain vanilla bond, it is that bond which is a very simple bond. It requires interest to be paid at a fixed rate periodically and principal to be returned when the bond matures. This bond is usually issued at the face value, that is rupees 100, and it is redeemed at par, that is rupees 100. So here there is nothing of advanced level, nothing which is changed. The bond is of rupees 100, 10% interest is going to be paid, and the maturity period is going to be fixed, say 10 years. So this is a very simple kind of bond. There are no variations. This is a classic example of a debt instrument, and it is known as plain vanilla bond. So this only allows slight variations, such as higher or lower than par redemption price, or varying the frequency of interest between monthly, quarterly and annual payments. So there may be slight variations, but then again it will be a plain vanilla bond. But if we make a very wide range of variations in the bond, we reduce the issue price to a very low amount and we eliminate the interest component. So this would become altogether a different type of bond. So this is the simple type of bond, but if we introduce variations in them, then there will be other categories of bond which it will become. So there are other ways in which the bond structures can be altered so that it no longer remains a plain vanilla bond. So we can make those changes, but then it will be a different kind of bond. So the answer to this particular question, that the most simplest, the most basic form of debt instrument or bond is the plain vanilla bond. So answer will be option number B. Next question is, a company has issued a 5-year bond of face value rupees 1000 at rupees 600. So this is a 1000 rupee bond and it is being issued at a discount. So it is issued at rupees 600. The bond is to be redeemed at face value. So on the time of at the time of maturity, amount of rupees 1000 is to be paid on the bond, and no periodic payments are to be made during the tenure of the bond. So this is indirectly trying to convey us that there is no interest to be paid on the bond. Such bond is technically referred to as. So this bond will be technically known as, options are nil rated bond, zero coupon bond, callable bond, floating rate bond, or all of the above are correct. So here the question is asking which of the following bond has these characteristics. Now when we try to answer this particular question, we must be aware about this concept of a special kind of bond which is a zero coupon bond. So this zero coupon bond means that here the coupon is zero. So coupon we have already studied in the first question, that it means interest. So when the interest is zero, it becomes a zero interest or a zero coupon bond. So it does not have any coupons during the term of the bond. So for example, here you can see that this particular bond is there, but here at the bottom there are no coupons attached to this as there were in the first question. So that is why this is a zero coupon bond. But then again you will ask, if there is no interest to be paid in the bond, why would anyone want to invest in this kind of bond? This is because this bond is issued at a discount to the face value and redeemed at face value. So this will be issued at rupees 600 and it will be repaid at rupees 1000. So you will be giving only rupees 600 rupees now, but after 5 years you will be getting rupees 1000. So this 400 difference between the two amounts is the income for you. So this is the effective interest earned by the person who is lending the money. It usually has a long maturity. Then it is issued at a very big discount. So if it is a very long maturity, it is going to be issued at a very big discount, and then it is also known as a deep discount bonds. So this is issued at a discount, and if it is a very big discount and a very long maturity, it would become a deep discount bond. So zero coupon bond and a deep discount bonds, they are more or less the same. So this is what we have to remember. So now we can easily answer this question that this type of a bond is zero coupon bond. Next question, which of the following is incorrect with regard to different types of bond instruments? Options are: callable bonds allow the issuer to redeem the bonds prior to their original maturity date. A puttable bond gives the investor the right to seek redemption from the issuer before the original maturity date. Amortizing bonds are those in which the principal is not repaid at the end maturity but over the life of the bond. All of the above are correct, none of the above is correct. So to answer this question, we must be aware about these three types of bond instruments. So these are callable bond, puttable bond and amortizing bond. So this is very simple. Callable bond means the person who has issued the bond can call them back. So what this means, if the company which issued these bonds originally at say 10% interest rate, but now what has happened, the interest rate has fallen to say 8%. So now this company has the option that it can call back the bonds which it has already issued, and it can issue new set of bonds at the new interest rate which is lower. So this allows the issuer, that is the company, to redeem the bonds prior to their original maturity date. So here the original maturity date was still pending. It was the bond did not reach their maturity stage yet, but then again the company had the option that it can redeem them earlier also. So if the interest rates they decline, for example from 10% to 8%, an issuer, that is the company, can repay a callable bond and reissue fresh bonds at a lower interest rate, that is a 6% interest rate. So this is the benefit which is given to the company when it issues these callable bonds. So it can call back the bonds at any time. Next is puttable bond. So what callable bonds do for the issuing company, this is what the puttable bonds do for the person who is acquiring the bonds. So they are more or less the same but from different perspectives. So puttable bond is from the investor's perspective. So if the investor has the option to put back the bond, to give back the bond to the company, this would become a puttable bond. Now why would an investor do so before the maturity period? Now an investor will do this because the investor feels that the interest rate in the market is rising, but the company is still paying a very low interest rate. So if the interest rate has now risen to 10%, but the company originally issued these bonds at 8%, so the investor is going to sell these bonds back to the company before the original maturity date. So this is what the puttable bonds do. Next is amortizing bond. Now the concept of amortizing bond is linked to the concepts of consumer loans or the usual car loans and home loans which we usually take. So when we take these kinds of loans, then whenever we are paying the installment for these kinds of loan, the installment contains both interest payment as well as principal payment. So both interest and principal component, they are being included in the periodic payments. So when this is the case for the bonds, when the bonds are those in which the principal is not repaid at the end or the maturity. So this is not the plain vanilla bond in which the rupees 100 were to be redeemed at the end of maturity period. In this, rupees 100 is going to be divided. For example, rupees 20 is to be going to repaid at the end of each of the 5 years. So this becomes a amortizing bond. So here the principal is not repaid at the end but over the life of the bond. So this is the concept of amortizing bonds. So friends, now we are aware about all these terms. So we now know that callable bond allow the issuer to redeem the bonds before the maturity date. Puttable bond allow the investor to seek redemption before the maturity date. In amortizing bond, the principal is not repaid at the end but over the life of the bond. So here all these statements, they are correct. So the answer is going to be option number D, that is all are correct. Next question. Which of the following most appropriately describes the correct relation between the bond price and the bond yield? Now these are some very important terms associated with the concept of pricing of bonds. Options are: there is a direct relationship between yield and price of the bond. There is an inverse relationship between the yield and the price of a bond. Relationship between bond price and the yield depends on the terms of bond issue. Relationship between bond price and the yield depends on the return on government securities, or none of the above is correct. So in this particular case, we are being asked about the correct relationship. So we are being asked what is the most appropriate description of the correct relationship. So to answer this question, we must be aware about this concept of bond yield and the relationship between the important terms associated with the bond, that is bond price, bond coupon rate, bond term. So all these terms, they are interconnected and we have to understand the relationship between these terms. So in the bond market, the price of the bond is known. So we know what is the price of the bond because it is quoted in the market. Information on the coupon rate or the interest rate and the redemption when the bond is to be repaid, it also known. So only thing that is unknown is the bond yield. So given all of these components, we are able to find this bond yield. So this yield is the actual measure of the return to the investor at a point of time. So this yield is going to measure how much the investor is actually earning. Now if what the investor will be actually earning, it will be the interest rate the investor is earning on the bond, plus it will be the difference between the price at which the bond is right now quoting in the market and the price at which he got the bond. So this is what this particular investor is presently earning. Now if we analyze the relationship between the bond price and the bond yield, there is an inverse relationship. Now if the yield, it falls down, so what will happen? The bond price is going to rise, and as the bond price fall, the yield to the investor is going to go up. So this is the relationship which we have to remember for the examination. Now why this kind of relationship exists? Let us understand through this coming example. So let's understand this through this example. So if you buy a bond with a par value of $100. So you are buying this bond whose par value is $100 and you are buying this at $100 only, and it carries a 10% coupon rate or a 10% interest rate. So here it's very simple. The price of in the market and the redemption value of the bond, they are equal. So the only return on this bond is what the coupon rate is, that is 10%. So the yield on the bond is going to be 10 divided by 100, that is 10%. Now if the bond price, it drops to $90. Now just think logically. So if you are buying the bond which is going to be redeemed at $100 and you are buying this at $90, it is going to pay you 10% interest also. So in this particular case, your income is not just that 10% interest rate. Your income now is also the difference between the price at which you have acquired this bond, that is $90, and the price which you are going to get at the time of redemption. So to calculate the yield on the bond, the actual return, the real return on the bond, we must account for both of these, that is the interest and the price difference. So this would increase the yield. So if you try to calculate the yield now, this would be 10 divided by the market price, that is 11%. So this would be around 11% in this case. So the yield has increased. So this is how the inverse relationship works. If the bond price, it increases, the yield is going to fall. but if the bond price it falls, as in the given case, the yield is going to increase. So in the given case, the bond price fell from 100 to 90, but the yield increased from 10% to 11%. So now we can easily answer this question, that the answer to this is going to be option number B. There is an inverse relationship between the yield and the price of the bond. So friends, this was all about our discussion on some of the very important MCQs pertaining to the securities market. And if you have any query or you wish to know more about our courses, you can visit our website, which is www.edutap.co.in, or you can drop us a mail at hello@edutap.co.in, or you can call us at 8146207241. So friends, if you found this video useful, please like the same, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you wish to get regular updates on Telegram, you can subscribe to our Telegram channel, the link of which is given here as well as in the description to this particular video. And subscribing to our Telegram channel is also going to help you fetch the PDFs of all the discussions which we are doing on YouTube. So thank you friends.